Hi there! In this video I'm going to talk about mate guarding, what it is, how you do it, how not to do it, and basically clean up some of the confusion that's out there, because I see a lot of different advice on mate guarding, and I think you need a fluid strategy to doing it. Okay, so the first thing is to understand is that attraction isn't controllable. People are just attracted to who they're attracted to, and we are all scanning the opposite sex, or our same sex if that's what you're into. We're all scanning everyone all the time to see who's attractive, who's hot, who's not, and who's really appealing to us. So if you are with a partner and they are attractive, there are going to be members of the opposite sex who are interested in them and who will strike up conversation and basically hit on them. And this is all normal and to be expected. So when you're in this position where you're noticing someone is interested in your partner, and it's just that sort of routine attraction, just interested, having a good conversation. This is what I call, you're kind of coming into what I call the green area of mate guarding. Thinking of it as a traffic light system, red, yellow, green. So this requires green mate guarding. Meaning, your wife is over there, there's someone that is, obviously sort of halfway tuned on and interested. But it's currently, this is all it is. It is a conversation that's maybe a little flirty, whatever. Your wife may be enjoying it, whatever. But there's no real implicit threat of what is happening. There's zero immediate danger that she's suddenly going to fall on her back with her legs apart and the sex is going to happen. This is all routine and just expected. So in terms of what you do for that as mate guarding, it's almost a passive approach in terms of you're just simply going to be the most attractive person you can. You're going to be the highest value person you can. You're going to be relaxed. You're going to be confident because obviously there's nothing really happening over there that's really going to go anywhere. That's about it. Because you cannot mate guard your spouse or girlfriend or whatever. You can't mate guard them 24/7. You can't follow them around like some sort of surveillance fan, ensuring no one is ever interested in them, that no one is ever attracted to them. That becomes incredibly toxic and boring and just a giant display of low value if you're always doing that. So as long as what you're saying is essentially just, my wife is attractive, whatever. That's all it is. So in that sense, you're creating high value. You're just simply being as attractive as you can. So that it's basically an attractiveness versus attractiveness sort of game. And your wife has a relationship with you. She has all these sunk costs in the relationship. She has a shared life. She has a shared history. There's no reason to do anything with anyone else because you're as good as you are. The second sort of way of mate guarding is what I would call yellow mate guarding, which is when you're seeing something that kind of was in that green zone, start crossing the line into the other person, the other guy, is now getting some target lock on your wife or girlfriend. He's now really starting to focus, and he's obviously starting to consciously try and gain points with it. He's trying to basically start a seduction. Now, he may be nowhere near getting to the bedroom with you at all, but he's very obviously has that target lock, and he is now consciously and purposely starting to try and build a greater attraction and rapport with your wife, girlfriend. Now, so with yellow mate guarding, you're simply seeing this is going on, and what you do is called cock blocking, which is where essentially you go over and you just make it clear that you're in her life, that you're present, that you're actually paying attention, that you kind of see what he's doing, and that you're not going to be oblivious to him making further inroads in terms of building attraction. And this can all be done in a very casual, low-key, friendly, hey, how are you sort of way. He's really not doing anything terribly wrong if he's interested in her. She's attractive, it is what it is, but obviously you just don't want to see anything escalate. So simply all you need to do is be, for the most part, present and observable, and obviously not someone that's going to be weak if he goes further. More often than not, this is all that it takes. Once the other guy sees that the husband or boyfriend is actually paying attention, is clued in, will actually do something, suddenly, it's going to take a lot more effort and skill and cleverness and time invested to ever get anywhere with this particular woman. There are probably easier targets. And 99 times out of 100, they will simply go on to, chat somebody else up. So that's that yellow mate outing. And it's essentially just cock blocking when you see another guy obviously getting full on target lock. And sometimes the wife or girlfriend knows the game, and sometimes they don't. They don't necessarily know what's going on. The number of times I've had women say, this was nothing, while all the guys are like, oh no, that was something. So there's a grey area there. But essentially you just cock block. Show up, say hi, shake his hand, make eye contact, and that's usually about where it ends. The third type of mate guarding is what I would call red mate guarding. You are now seeing something truly starting to get nefarious, where the other guy is very clearly targeting your wife or girlfriend, is consciously starting to build attraction, and is actually starting to make some headway with it, to the point where she is starting to get either somewhat interested, starting to get attracted, starting to get a little tempted or interested. And this is the one where you really do need to intervene directly. And you have to do this because if you do nothing, you're basically giving this other guy free rein to move, and after a certain point it just looks like a giant display of weakness on your part, that you're just too much of a coward to get up, stand up, and basically protect and claim and own what is, for a bit of a lack of a term, yours. This is your relationship, this is your life, this is your relationship history, this is something that's important. And the sooner you do it, the better. It invariably never gets better if you just sit there and do nothing. The longer you do nothing, the deeper this particular rabbit hole can go. The more time he has to work on your wife or girlfriend, the more time he has to create rapport, create attraction, create comfort. And after that, the next steps are trying to isolate her from you. So you have to do the opposite. You can't let the isolation happen. You have to be a little more direct. And in terms of things like when you're really doing, discovering truly inappropriate things, or you're discovering, the beginning parts of affairs or actual affairs, you really do have to do a strong intervention. And what I see far more often than not is that almost invariably the wife or girlfriend will end up with the guy who makes the strongest, most dominant play for her attention. The guy that puffs up his chest and actually makes a move of, I'm here, you're not, get lost, you're the third wheel, go to hell. Almost invariably the wife or girlfriend will go to that guy. And again, almost invariably when a husband or long-term boyfriend makes a really solid defensive play related to his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and basically tells the other man, I'm on to you, I see what's happening, you need to get the hell out. almost invariably the other guy just goes, oh, my bad, and exits stage left. Very rarely do they actually stick around and actually put up any kind of a fight for, for the partner. And this is probably lizard brain stuff, because husband or boyfriend who thinks some guy is about to bang his wife or whatever, lizard brain is pretty pissed off, pretty aggressive, and bad things can happen in the moment. So almost invariably the other man takes off. And I'm not saying you be violent or anything like that, but simply the sheer thing of making a direct contact and telling the other guy to get the hell out, more often than not, that is all it takes. Often they are freaked out. Maybe one time in 10 do they put up a fight. And usually in those moments they are genuinely, actually in love or truly hoping for a relationship. Truly hoping for a relationship with your wife or girlfriend. So that only makes it more and more important to be so direct with that. So those are the three basic types of mate guarding. There's the green one, where what you're seeing is just routine, it's just normal. Someone's attracted to your wife. You don't really have to do anything about it because nothing is really happening. You just display high value, you're happy, you're relaxed, you're content, you're confident in the relationship because you are attractive. You're not too worried about these incidental things. The second one being the yellow mate guarding, when you're starting to see a guy get actual target lock, where he's starting to make conscious and persistent moves to try and build attraction or isolate your wife with just him. These guys, you got to get in there and you got to cock block. You got to make it clear that you're going to be somewhat difficult. You're going to make it clear that if it ever got to a red mate guarding point, that you would be doing something. And again, 9 times out of 10, the other guy will just move on to somebody else. There's almost a sense where the type of guys that want to sleep with men's wives are not so much looking for women that will sleep with them, but they're looking for weak husbands. So you just have to prove that you're not a weak husband, and 9 times out of 10, that's the last you see of them. They just move on to somebody else. And the red mate guarding, when you're seeing something that's genuinely bad, genuinely questionable, and they're really starting to make some sort of traction on your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and that's when you really have to directly intervene. And you can't just, the thing I see online is that sense of you should only do the green mate guarding. You should only display high value. You should only be confident. You should only, if she's going to do something, she's going to do something. Well, yes and no. She does have her own free will. But the truth is, attractiveness and dominance and game and being cocky and funny and a little bit of nagging and, instigation and isolation and escalation, all these things work. They work to generate attraction. So if you just let another guy have completely free reign, while you do nothing, if you let him have free reign to run his game, he's going to build attraction. So at some point, you got to stop it. And that's what mate guarding is. So, and you're allowed to do it. You don't have to be some sort of over-the-top asshole, but you should do it if you see your relationship facing a true, actual, and genuine threat. So yeah. You don't really have to worry about your wife. You have to worry about the guys with the target lock. And then if it really gets beyond that, then you got to tell them to get lost. Maybe use a little stronger words than that. Alrighty. Catch you next time.